All right, guys, I need y'all to put your phones up. Make sure your phones are not on your desk. All right, let's do number one. Y less than 2x minus 4. All right, so test is going to be planned for like Thursday or Friday. You'll have some of these on the test, probably like one of each type on here. All right, what's special about this problem that we got to graph? What makes it different?
It's in both those types of a wall based and
Good.
it has this.
Good, Fisher. It's in a wall, which is absolute value. Now, the way we've graphed this before, I showed y'all one of these. What was Jesse? Can you go side in for me? Appreciate it. All right, so the way we graphed this before, guys, I just need y'all to do an XY chart. Anytime you have absolute value and they want you to graph it, let's just do an XY chart. Now, we're going to plug in the numbers in the middle of the graph, which is 0, 1, -1, 2, and -2. And we're plugging those in again because they're the ones in the center of the graph. You don't want to plug in something really high.
Did we replace the words with the X?
Yep. You replace the numbers with the X. All right.
So 2, the number, and -4.
Let me show you. All right, guys, we can actually plug this whole thing in the calculator. We're going to plug 0 in right here. 2 times 0 minus 4, absolute value. So I need to show y'all where the absolute value button is. I don't think I've showed y'all yet.
Yes.
I have? Okay. Go to math. Arrow over one time the number. Number 1 is absolute value. Enter that in. Tell me what you get.
4.
Positive 4?
Yeah.
Positive 4.
Is this a new paper?
Nope, you should have it from last week. Looks like this, Jesse. If you need one, I'll get you one.
Okay, I think I got it.
All right, y'all plug in 1 now. Let's see what you get. Absolute value, 2 times 1 minus 4.
I got it. 2.
2 sounds right. All right, plug in another one. 2 times -1 minus 4. You can just use your calculator on all these. If anybody can't find the button for absolute value trade, let me show you. At least make sure you know where it is on there. Hit math. Go over one time the number. Number 1 is ABS.
Okay,
Got it? Go ahead and fill those in. Put your phone up off the desk, please. You ready? Hit that. To plug in. Okay. 0, 1, -1, 2, and -2 are the numbers right in the middle of the graph, so I'm going to plug those in every time. I'm going to use the same numbers every time. All right, so -1. Did y'all get 6 for -1? I'm doing it in my head. I might mess up. How about 0 there? And -4. Did y'all get 8 there? All right, we want to see if this makes a V. This is supposed to make a V because it's absolute value. Let's see if it makes a V. Over 0 up 4, over 1 up 2, -1 up 6, over 2 up 0, -2 up 8, 6, 7, 8. All right, we got a problem, don't we? Look at it. It was supposed to make a V. I'll let y'all put your points on your graph real quick. It doesn't make a V, so we're going to have to plug in at least one number. We got to figure out where this thing starts going back up to make a V. All right, so what's the next number that we need to plug in? What's the next number in the center of the graph that we haven't? Let's go to 3. All right, I think 3 is going to work. If we plug 3 in right there, you're going to get 2. Now let's see if that helps us make our V. Over 3 up 2. All right, so now I can definitely see I can make a V from here. Guys, look right here at my inequality sign. Is that gonna be dotted or solid? It's dotted, right? So make a dotted V. All right, do I shade above it or below it? Less than, look at the board. Less than is below. So since we got a shade below, we'll shade everything below it like this. Now we're gonna do one more of those. Y'all can cross out. We are gonna skip number 2 and just go to number 3. It would, but it's so easy. You're not gonna have one that easy on the test. So, all right, let's do the next one. Number 2, same thing. Skipping number 2, going to number 3.
Are we ever gonna do 2, sir?
No, so we're not.
We mark it out?
Mark it out.
Mark it out on the graph too.
Yes.
No, you can use your graph paper and just put another number up there. Just mark it out right here on the paper. All right, so again, I want y'all to plug in these same numbers every time. 0, 1, -1, 2, and -2. And if that's not enough, then we'll add a couple more points like we did on the last one. All right, plug it in. It's supposed to make a V. You guys use your calculator or do it in your head. Once more. We got that sheet right there from last week. You should have one. If not, you can get one of those. All right, so let's see if we got the same answers. Plug in 1, you got 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. -2, 1. All right, let's see if this is going to make a V. Over 0, up 3. Over 1, up 4. Over 2, up 5. -2, up 1. All right, mine's not making a V yet. So what I'm thinking is, guys, it's going to go this way, and it's going to sooner or later start going back up. So let's plug in a couple more numbers. Let's plug in -3 and -4. Those are kind of the next numbers going that way. -3, -4. All right, find your answers for those 2 points, and then hopefully that's going to start making a V and we can graph it. Hopefully we won't have to plug in anything else. What's your calculator number? You got one?
No, I don't have one.
I
It's
got
10.
10.
Nope.
Still doesn't make a V?
Nope.
Let's check. If I plug in -3, Adam, you should get 0.
Yeah,
Is that
0,
correct?
1.
If I plug in -4, I should get 1. If you plug it in your calculator, it should give you 1. So -3 up 0, -4 up 1. All right, it is going to start making a V. It's going to go here and start going back up.
Oh, I messed up for one part. Sorry.
It's all right. So is this going to be dotted or solid?
Died.
Dotted line. All right, do I shade above it or below it? It says greater than, so we shade above it. All right, so I'm not going to show y'all any more like this. I think y'all can do that on a test if you had one. Just plug in numbers and graph it. All right, which ones down at the bottom did we do last week, guys? Was it number 5 and number 7? All right, so we'll do number 6, 8, and 9. That should be good. Now let's make it 6. Let's do 8, 9, and 10. That'll be the last 3 we do on this. We'll skip the other ones.
Can we mark them out?
You can mark out all the other ones except 8, 9, and 10 if you want to, Fish.
What if we end up wanting to do them?
You can do them.
Are
I'm
we
not
gonna,
going to ask you to do
are we gonna end up doing them?
them. No, sir.
Did you just do a dotted line? Did you just do a dotted line?
Yeah. That's because it's open. You know how to tell it, right?
All right, this was
You
the
gotta
thing
tell
that
it,
was
right?
on the quiz yesterday. That was extra credit. Some of you guys did this problem on the quiz and got it right. But I didn't feel like we had done enough in class to grade y'all on the quiz yesterday. So, all right, so what we have to do on this one. Anybody got a question before I go into this? All right, this is our first problem. Y equals -2. You have to know how to graph that. All right, so where do I go to make my first point? I can't do rise over run, guys. It doesn't have an X. So I just go to -2 on the Y-axis, make a point, and you're going to have points going all the way across. That's going to be your line. Now, we're going to erase half of it, remember.
Is it dotted or solid?
Well, it's going to be solid, but I didn't want to draw a solid line yet because I'm going to have to erase half of it. All right, so what do I mean by that? This shows us right here which part we have to keep. All right, so I put an open circle at 1. Go to 1, follow it down, put an open circle right there where it meets the line. Open circle at 1. Y'all see why it's open and not closed? If it was greater than or equal to, it'd be closed. All right, now, do I keep the right side of the circle or the left side of the circle? Let's check. What's that tell you? It says greater than, but which way is it pointing? Points to the right. So you draw your line on the right, you erase all the points on the left. And really, we should erase the point that's inside the circle. If you don't, I'm not going to mark it off. All right, so that's how you're going to do each one of these. You're going to draw the shape and erase half of it. All right, let's do the red one. How would we graph this, guys? Where would I go to make my first point? Let's go to 1. On the y-axis, everybody put a point. Okay, what's my rise over run?
1 over 1.
Up 1 over 1. So look, you're going to have points going up like this and down like this. All right, now, same deal. We're going to have to erase half of it because they only want you to show a piece of the graph, not the whole thing. All right, so what in the world does that mean right there? I need an open circle at -1, and I need an open circle at +2. So, here's -1, open circle. There's +2, open circle. Draw the line in between, erase everything else. All right, that is your whole problem for number 8. That's how you do the whole graph. Now, how many of these are you going to have on the next test? Maybe 1 or 2. Probably just 1. You're done. So Riley, you draw a line and erase half of it. They're showing you which part they want you to keep. Piecewise functions, you only show a piece of the graph. All right, so now we're going to go to number 9. Anybody got a question on 8 before we go to 9? Number 9. Okay. All right, everybody look at this one. I think this is one that was on the quiz yesterday. I think y'all had that shape right there. All right, so we should know, based on everything we've done the last week, you guys should know what kind of shape that's gonna make. What kind of shape is that gonna make? A V. All right, so you just write a V right in the center. I'm not gonna draw the shape yet, I'm just gonna draw all the points. All right, so we're gonna have a V right in the center. Why? Because we had absolute value. Absolute value is always a V. Now you're gonna have to erase some of them, so I would draw them lightly, so you can erase them. All right, go ahead, Allison. Say it again. How do you know where to put the points? Start right in the center at 0 and go up 1, over 1 on both sides. It's going to be that way every time. Good question. Okay, now look at this part. Are we going to have open circles or closed circles? Open circles at -5 and at +5. So, -5, open circle, +5, open circle. Try to erase the points if you have them inside the circle. All right, draw a line in between and you're good. All right, so that was on the quiz yesterday. That's why I threw it off, because I never showed y'all that. All right, the next one's just y = 5. How do we graph that? Can't do rise over run. Where do I go? Go to 5 on the y-axis, make a point. So if you guys just want to watch mine right here so you won't have to erase everything, you can just look at mine. So your line would go all the way across right there, right? Now, this part right here shows you which part we got to keep. And it's not going to fit on my graph. It may fit on yours. All right, what do? I got to go to 7, put an open circle. 6, 7, open circle right there.
Everything's to the right.
Let's see. Yes, it points to the right, so keep everything to the right. So look, your line just looks like that. All these other points, I've got to erase mine, which is much easier for me to do than for you. So that's your graph. We're going to do one more, and then we'll have an early bathroom break before we start something else. All right, next one, number 10. Yep, go back.
So how exactly do you know where to go?
As far as where to draw the line?
Like on the actual problem?
Oh, the actual problem. All right, it's y = 5. So you've got to go to 5 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you've got to put point, CJ, all the way across. Or just know that the line goes all the way across. Then I go to 7 with an open circle. So I went to 7, went up with an open circle. It says greater than, and it points to the right. So I only show my line to the right. If it was like this, you would only show the line coming back this way, because it points to the left, or it's less than.
So when you look at the problems, do you really like kind of like both? So you go with the top left.
Coach Aaron,
Yes, ma'am?
could you send Haley Pollard to the media center?
Okay.
Thank you.
Say it again, CJ.
You always solve it from left to right going down.
Yeah. All right. Let's do number 10. All right, let's do these one at a time. Let's do the first one. The first one is, all right, look, CJ, it's just y = 4. All right, so how do I graph y = 4? I go to 4 on the y-axis right here, so you're going to have a line that goes all the way across. All right, I'm not going to draw the line because I'm going to have to erase half of it anyway. All right, now this part right here shows you which part you got to keep. What do? I put a closed circle at -3. -3, follow it up, put a closed circle right there. Okay, so do I draw my line on the right of the closed circle or the left? Left, good. All right, I think y'all starting to get it. So that is your graph for the first one. All right, the next one says absolute value of x. What kind of shape's absolute value? It's always a V. Remember, start at 0 and go up on both sides. I say just give it to me. All right, so now, what does this mean? First of all, you got to have open circles at -3 and at +3. So -3 open circle, +3 open circle. And just draw your line in between. All right, last one. What's the last one say? Lilian, we got out our sheet from last week. I think you were here, you should have it. Last one says 4 again. This time x is greater than 3. So we're back to 4 with all these points on 4. And this one, you're right, goes opposite direction. So I need a closed circle at 3. So go to 3, follow it up, put a closed circle. And we shade which way, right or left? We shade up. You erase everything else. Yep.
Dude, look at the
Did I mess up?
dotted line, because it's not a.
Okay, all of these are equals, so you don't have to worry on these type problems about dotted or solid. They're always going to be solid because of the equal sign. All right, let's take a quick bathroom break. We'll just have an early break this morning.
We're doing something else, sir?
Bathroom break, sir?
We're doing something else after this?
Oh, yes, sir.